Hey guys, so it's me Abhishek Thapa. So today I'm making this video to show you that to say you something that just I find something strange while I was reading a mathematics book. Just I found a study. This book was given by my brother and just I beg it from him. So it's a foundation of mathematics. So this book is this book belongs to class 11 books, and the publication that I am using this book is that this is a book that is from Asmita publication. That I find something very strange that it has about 20 unit. Like you can imagine that there are 20 units. So under each unit there is a vast course and vast exercise and topics, right? So this like this content was just categorized into about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, the 20 units has categorized into 8 sub chapters or sub units. The first one is algebra, second one is trigonometry, third one is analytical geometry, fourth one is vector, fifth one is static and probability, sixth one is calculus, seventh one is computation method, eighth one is mechanics. So chapter mechanics is not essential to read in this mathematics. About 18 units that should we obey and follow as well as read within 1 year. So the first chapter that is started from logic and set. The first unit is logic and set, right? So yeah, logic and set is similarly belongs to a set that we have studied in our previous classes in class 10, class 9, class 8 also. We have studied set. What is it? A set is a collection of well-defined objects. So okay, that we had studied at our previous classes. So in these classes, this chapter will gonna very vast and very huge with a huge content, like because the level of class 10 and the level of class 11 is very high, so their difference is very huge. So like the topics and the content will also be high, so we must study very conveniently, and we study like is a professional level and consistency with a consistency level. So that might be very helpful for for a new comer of class 11. So okay, just I finance something, just a lot of the things 10 class 10 because the course is also okay. So I find that like there is a statement, hypothesis and conclusion about it, and there is I find something is that there is a yeah, tautology. Just I find that tautology, etc like that, and contradiction, logical equivalence, the contraposition, etc. A lot of the things that I found it logic and sets. Okay, there are okay, I find like a something more a sign to symbolize something, right? Okay, the first sign is that the upper cap, like we use in a unit vector, that is a cap, that means and, right? That means and just like opposite it's like means v, right? That sign represents or that's very strange, and just I find I think this chapter contain about 2 3 marks. Yeah, I think that 2 3 marks. Yeah. So the course is huge, and the courses are very like can't be completed in one day, probably, but you can't. But if you are consistent and if you are able to solve with very consistency, then you can. Nothing is possible. Nothing is impossible. If you try, it will be possible to you. And there is a set. Okay, I find that logic and set has categorized into like two as a chapters or means a topics. There are two subtopics, right? The first one is logic and second one is set. Just I find that there was introduction of logic and here is introduction of set. So yeah, and and just there is given a a representation of a set, listing, tabulation, description set boulder, and there is also mentioned as the types of set, empty set, singleton set, finite, infinite. So and there is also just given a Venn diagram and just showing the relationship between sets and the Venn diagram. So yeah, and oh my gosh, there is a lot of types of, okay, there is a lot of the like relationship created between Venn diagram and sets. So the first one is subset. Equal set, proper subset is joined, intersection, universal power set, family. Oh, I find something strange. Like a power set. What does it mean? Just I heard. I see it for the first time in my life. Means power set, and there's a family opposite. Probably just I'm not sure, but the family opposite just represents the member that is inside a curly bracket. That could be a family opposite, but I'm not sure. Okay, and there's a symmetric that I already studied. Union, intersection, differentiations, complement. Okay, and this I find this something very unique at you. Okay, if we have a complement, single complement, just just over the like set A, suppose there is a set A and we have a complement over it, then it will then this formula, then this will equivalent to union set minus a set. If you have a double complement over the set A, means one complement and double complement, then its value will equivalent to set A. Yeah, that I find very unique. And like oh, so that's it. So yeah, that's all for logic and set, and that's it. So these are some like identities and the laws given by some people, like independent laws, communicative laws, domination laws, absorption law, assertive law, distributive law, complementation law, De Morgan's law. You just I have heard about De Morgan's law just 1 month ago at YouTube when I was searching about the problem solving solution of say, then I find that law. So that's not like a non for me. That is very non for me, but and like most of the laws that is non to me. So yeah, and that's for like a certain logic. And the second one is a real number. I have been confusing since my childhood what is a real number. I didn't get a clue about a real number, right? So generally a real number represents all the number that exists. It's like that could be a integers, that could be a natural number, odd number, even number, like rational, irrational. That all belongs to real number. Yeah. Okay, the first thing that the real number has categorized into two numbers, that is rational and irrational. And also rational number is categorized into two numbers, that integers and fraction, as well as the irrational and fractional constant. They don't have categorized. And okay, then integer is categorized into negative integer and whole number, right? Like a whole number also known as a positive integers. That's why it hasn't seen is negative and positive, right? So whole number has categorized into two, zero and natural number. That's so this all number are a real number. But I was just confused. What is real number actually? But I didn't know even I was in class 10. Okay, then here is an inequality that I have just studied in my previous class in observable mathematics. And there's interval. I also just have learned about intervals in class 10. Chapter was limit and continuity. Yeah, and there is absolute value. Oh, and there is something that I didn't find something very strange and very like non for me. Just there is something very strange, like, and it can be seen a very like very different like as a curriculum compared to class 10. And third one is, then third unit is function. Thus function is like, it can be seen this, I haven't entered into the function of class 11, but as my head says that I think function that I can do easily, because this I have already studied about function in class 9, class 10. So there is no like there, I think that I'm not gonna to get a hesitation during a function, I think, but that couldn't be. Yeah, function meets my like expectation meet function of class 11. Oh my gosh, the video has just crossed 10 minutes. That's all known for me in bisective onto and one to one. Yeah, that I already knew about it. Composition or no, and cubic function. Yeah, that's all I know. So I think I might gonna like just, I don't think that this chapter will gonna hard, but I think if you have consistency, if you are doing very hard work, and if you are trying to do something very like very good, very good for you for obtaining a good mark, then you can, this my personal opinion and my suggestion to you guys is that if you are consistent since like as a beginning phase of your class 11 journey, you might and you actually can receive or pursue that you actually want. So be consistent and just don't feel, just don't lose your opinion, so like don't lose your hope, and like don't lose like your confident level while you are studying. If you find something very difficult, very like just one stand that you can say I can't do it, I can't do it, yeah, that's very impossible. So at that time you must be like, you must be very you mustn't be very unconscious, like, so you must try it until it's gonna true, until it's gonna be solved by you. So I think you can do more better, as well as me, I also want to do more better in my class 11. Okay, so guys, I don't think that's this video will gonna help you, but if this video gonna help you, then you might follow follow me, and just you can subscribe and like, share and comment in my channel. So I think I must end this video. So we will meet again with a new power, new topics, and a new secret audit. So I think, yeah, bye bye guys, but we will meet again. Bye.